We're back with the bad vibe with Dwight and Jeremy.
This is episode 140.
That's right.
The 140.
Yeah.
What did I say a while ago? The storm's blowing 140.
Yeah.
No one's going to understand that, right? I mean, I guess some people do.
I don't.
Remember?
I know what you're talking about.
140. Okay. Anyways. All right, so a little bit before we were recording this, you know, like facial recognition. That's a big thing right now.
I do know
it started out with like thumbprint, you know?
It started out in movies. Remember that thing that scans your eye?
Like on like James Bond movies?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where they like steal an eye, they put it up there.
It only lets in people that
they
have
have
blue
like
eyes.
contacts.
Yeah.
It's like a thumbprint, but for eyes.
Every movie, if it shows early in the movie, eye scan thing, I know later in the movie somebody's going to cut out a guy's eye to get in.
Yeah. Or contacts.
Yeah.
There were contacts that match that guy's eye.
I watch rougher movies.
Yeah. Anyways, so it's becoming more and more, of course, right? So I don't know if there's cars with it, you know? I'm sure like a Beamer or something, you know, they're like Beamer on and it's like voice activated.
Oh, yeah, there is that. Yeah,
I know that, but I mean, like, you look at your car and it starts, you know what I mean?
Keys are fine.
You're not looking at it, right? The sun's in your eyes.
Yeah.
Right?
They're like, it's awesome. I don't know, keys work. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't like the whole, like, Chrysler or Dodge thing or whatever, where it's like, all it has to do is be in the vehicle.
I had that.
That is annoying.
I had that on.
And the whole knob shifter.
I have that on my new vehicle,
right?
But
you're going down the highway, and you're turning the volume up.
I've done it.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
I have the knob
shifter. It doesn't seem cool, like you're, you know.
No,
like,
it's not cool.
Like, you know what I mean?
I had the knob shifter, and it's right next to the AC and the radio controls. And I was going down the highway, and I tried to turn my AC down, and I shifted my car into reverse while doing 75 on the highway.
It doesn't try to go into reverse.
It wouldn't go into reverse. It kicked
neutral.
it to neutral, but my RPM fucking pegged out.
Yeah.
Like 7,000 RPM.
Well, sometimes
in a little, like, whatever car.
I'll accidentally go into manual, you know, because I got, like, automatic, but it's, like, the manual option.
Yeah.
And I'll, like, go into manual, and, like, I'm like, what the hell's going on?
On the highway in first gear doing 90.
Yeah, my RPMs are, like, 4,000.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell? I'm going, like, 65.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow! I'm like, I'm not hauling ass.
You're like, this thing needs to shift.
You know, but like, no one's sleeping.
Yeah.
You know? Like, but then like, I don't know how to do it, you know, because then I'm like way high up, and then
I don't even know.
Well, the only way I know how to do it is to pull over, put it in park, and then put it back.
You have to start over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
That's like people that never drive a stick shift. Like my wife was telling me that when she was like, I don't like. In her late teens, early 20s, like first out on her own, she had a truck that was a stick shift, and she could drive it, but she's like wasn't good at driving it really. And she said she was coming out of the grocery store, and it's like it's like you come down and then you come up an incline. So you're on an incline and you have to stop and wait for traffic and then go, which is tough to do if you're not used to driving a stick shift, because you have to hold your foot on the clutch and the brake, and you know what I mean. So she said she started to go and it rolled backwards and died. So she tried it again and it rolled backwards. She's like 19 and I think pregnant at the time.
They're like, your wife's 19.
I wish.
They're like, how old was she when she was doing this?
Yeah. So she was like 19 or so, and she did it like 6 times, and the cars behind her were honking their horns. Some guy was out like dumb bitches can't drive or something. And she said she just like, this is a girl's reaction to everything. You already know what she did. She just like put the parking brake on and started crying.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, and when she told me this story, I was like, what did you think that would do? Yeah. That's not the secret.
No.
You know what I mean? But she said she's like, I couldn't do it. She's like, I couldn't back up because there was cars behind me. I couldn't because it'd be easy to back up.
She's like, what am I going to do?
She's like, I can't make it go. I'm just going to cry.
Yeah.
Which I made fun of her, but realistically, that is the most logical thing. Yeah. Like, she couldn't make it go. She said a guy came and was like,
he talked her through it?
No, he came and he's like, are you okay? And she's like, ah, you know? And he's like, hold on. He's like, scoot over.
He's like, good, you dumb bitch.
Yeah. He squeezed her tit and ran off. So a guy came and he's like, just move over. And I don't know how it would work if
she sat in the middle, like his girlfriend.
He put his hand on her leg. So he helped her get out of there, I guess, onto the road and then on his shoulder. And she's like, thanks. But
she gave him roadhead to get out on the highway.
He comes fast. But he's like, oh, there's one stick she is good with. But that was her, that was her.
Some people were like, that's his wife. When she was a kid.
She wasn't my wife then.
She was in a distressed time.
Yeah. It would have been if that guy wanted to fuck her. And maybe she just never told me the extended story.
Yeah.
Because if the guy wanted to fuck her, he probably could. He was the hero.
At the end, like when at the end, she's like, "To be continued."
Yeah, she's like, and then she's like, and then he got me out of there, and like the story don't add up. I was like, did he walk back to his car? She's like, I don't really remember. like you must. I mean, he was the big hero. What did he do next? She's like, I don't know. It just kind of petered out after that, or petered in, I guess. But
she's like, yeah, well, he's married to my mom. So,
but it was. When I remember when she told me, I was like, well, what is crying? Because men and women approach things differently. To me, it's very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like, okay, here's the problem. Like, okay, we figure out how to fix that problem. You know what I mean? It's in front of us. Whatever it is, figure out how to move that rock, figure out how to fix it. For women are more emotional. So if it's not an emotional problem, sometimes their brain will still go to emotions. The same way if it is an emotional problem, your brain will still go to problem solving. Like your wife just is having a rough day and is like down or something, and she just needs you to hear her bitch about something, but you're like, okay, then I'll do this. Like my wife will complain about her job, and I'm like, do I need to go over there and put a guy through the wall? You know? Because I think, but her solution,
she just starts crying.
Yeah, but her solution to her truck now,
like, did I fart?
Yeah,
remember off of basketball?
God, we need to watch that. But her solution to not being able to take off in the truck was to cry, and I think that's stupid, but it worked. Yeah,
she's crying, and all of a sudden it goes into gear.
Yeah,
right. It starts going, and then like she stops. Right? She has to start. Right?
She has to start thinking about the Holocaust and shit.
She's pinching herself.
Yeah,
and she's just going down the highway. She's texting while pinching herself, like.
When my wife was 19, texting didn't exist. No. She's old.
All right, anyway, so we were talking about facial recognition.
Oh, yeah.
That's how we started all this, and then went to Beamer, and then all of a sudden she was a blower. And I don't know. He kind of bounced around.
He beamed her.
So did she. Okay, so anyway. Facial recognition. So, like, it kind of, like, baffles me on that it recognizes my face. And, like, you can, like, we look maybe similar. Some people say we do.
It recognizes your face?
It recognizes mine. No one else's.
What do you use in facial recognition? Oh, your phone?
Yeah. Yeah, so like before this, I was looking up something and it says like log in. You push log, the thing, and it just looks at you.
Yeah.
And then it does it. Nobody else can look at my phone and it pick up. But I think that's wrong. I think somebody's going to have something proportionally correct. Eyes are going to be the right width.
Well, you have one of those faces that a lot of people kind of look like you. So I feel like you specifically probably have other people that can open your phone.
But I mean, like, there's somebody out there, there's probably at least a couple people for every person that it would open up for them. It's kind of like the key thing. There are some keys that fit in other locks that they shouldn't.
Oh,
just
for sure.
Because there's only so many variations.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
And, I mean, computers fuck up,
But it isn't, I wonder what it's exactly looking at.
I know, because I think it's looking
like structure,
at
how far your eyes are apart from your nose.
Face shape and all that, yeah. But it's also like, if I have like, the mask thing because for Corona, if I have that on, it won't recognize me. So I have to pull it down. So it's looking at mouth, nose, eyes. It's looking at where all that stuff is,
My face is so like crooked and slanty that when I do face recognition, it just automatically calls 911 because it thinks I'm having a stroke.
My question is, what does it do for Asians?
Well, that shit came from Asia.
I know, but so that's why it's so good for us.
I saw a headline one time and I didn't read it.
The guy's got his mask on. He just points it at his friend and it opens. Yeah. Right? It just doesn't. It doesn't work. Right? It only can tell somehow if you're a boy or a girl.
Dude,
right?
I don't think
it tries to see if there's long black hair right behind your face.
Exactly. It has to look at your clothes. It has to gauge by what you're wearing. It somehow sees through your wallet into your license.
Yeah.
But no, it's.
They have to like open their eyes real good for it to pick up.
They have to use those Clockwork Orange things. Hold their eyes open. Wouldn't it be funny if they use those eyeball sensors? Would not work on them.
No.
But
their eyes are barely out there.
Yeah, they always look like they're like walking through a dusty,
Yeah.
But
everyone knows that.
I mean, what it is like, oh, you're making fun of Asians. No. That would be like if somebody, it is making fun of them for sure, but that'd be like if somebody was like, oh, Jeremy's fat. And it's like, you're making fun of him. It's like, yeah, we are making fun of him, but also he is fat. You know what I mean? Like, Yeah, maybe you shouldn't say that, but you're saying a true thing.
See, I'm thinking like
they do have squinty eyes.
Like, I mean, like I'm a big guy, right? What if I lose a lot of weight? What if it doesn't recognize me?
I guess it will. I feel like they've covered that by now. But
Well,
dude, what I was gonna say, it's exactly what you said.
It didn't just look at me once when I set it up. It looked at me a bunch of times.
It's like you have to show your
like you have to hold it and like look at it and keep your face straight.
About?
And then you like look at it again, but see, I'm like talking and I'm like laughing, smiling, whatever, while I'm looking at my phone and it picks it up.
It's probably bullshit. It probably goes off your like heart rate or something.
The fingerprint thing was kind of weird too, but I was like,
I never use any of that stuff because it's like let me just open my phone. You know what I mean? I don't need to lock it.
I mean, I have mine locked.
But anyway, what I was saying was, I saw an article, I saw a headline, and it said that there were issues in China with facial recognition because, I mean, we're not like, it's not even being racist.
Anytime a white person goes over there, there's problems with facial recognition with Chinese people.
Well, all the cameras are aimed at his chest.
Sir, ma'am.
All the face
and
cameras.
that's not because the whole gender thing. Right?
All the face cameras are hitting him in the chest because everybody there's 5'2". I mean, it's seeing his nipples, and it's like his eyes are real far apart, guys. I don't know.
He's looking down, and when they look up, the sun is in their eyes.
They say that if you go there,
right?
They say that if you go there, it is like not just like it's noticeable. You're walking down the street and you can see for miles because I mean, noticeable. Like the average height there is something like 5'4".
Wow.
And think about this: the average height.
I'm about 8 inches taller than that.
Well, I was gonna say the average height in America is something like 5'9".
I'm like 5'5", right? Stomping. I'm walking past everyone real fast because
they're
my
just
stride.
running like, ah!
It's my stride. That's what they thought it was Godzilla. It's just a white guy walking.
Just 5'10" white
It's probably
dude.
like a black dude, I guess. Godzilla's dark color.
Well, I think, didn't Dave Chappelle do a thing where he had a huge dick and he was something? But I've heard people say, like Americans that go there, that especially if they have blonde hair, you know, because they're just like, holy shit. Because there's 2 billion black-haired people there. They see a blonde and they're like, what the fuck is that, you know? Yeah. But they said the average height there is like 5'4" or something. The average height in America is like 5'9" for men. Me and you are noticeably taller than a lot of people we're around. And we're just over 6 feet tall. Yeah,
they do have tall people there, just like we have people taller than us.
Yeah, they have Yao
But
Ming.
the average here are, like
Yao Ming brings their average up to 5'3". You know, he's 7'8".
Yeah.
But
it kill him. They all go down to 4'9". Right?
But it is. I saw a thing that said that their facial recognition was having problems because so many people look similar. I guess. Damn. I mean, it isn't racist because what's racist when people say all black people look alike. But because I'm around black people all the time, I know that joke, that reference, but I've never thought that. I don't think all black people look alike. I know tons of black people I can spot from a mile away, you know what I mean? And I do. Keep an eye on them.
Chinese people, let's say
they really do look alike, Chinese
We go over there for like, a vacation, right? They come over here and go to like Louisiana or like Harlem for some reason, right? And they're just all like, they look all alike. Right?
Yeah. I don't even think they think we all look alike. I think when you hear that,
I would probably say it in Chinese.
I think when you hear that reference, it's just them being like, oh yeah, we all look alike. You know what I mean? It's like
they all have black hair, and we're like, oh, they do.
I mean, they all have black hair. Yeah. They all have similar shaped faces. They're all similar size because, a lot of Chinese people aren't very tall, so they're all similar size. The women. A lot of the women are like thin, so they all kind of look alike. Yeah, it's not the facial recognition isn't racist. It just can't tell them apart. Anybody can get into their phones over there. A Chinese guy steals a phone; it's just his now. Like, you know what I mean? They also probably all have the same.
He's like
name.
Liu Wang. That's my name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
how many?
I don't know if that's Japanese or Chinese.
Yeah, it's Chinese. Japanese. Here's how you remember. Japanese is like Italian. All their names end with vowels. It's like Yamamoto and Ichiro.
That's the Japanese?
Japanese always ends with O's and A's and shit. And then the Chinese, it all sounds like sounds. It's like Chong and Dong and shit like that.
That's so weird. That is like, we've said it before that they're aliens, right?
Well, you know why they're so weird though?
I don't mean like when they come over here uninvited, they're aliens.
Yeah, no.
Like,
They seem less... but there's a reason for it. They seem way more different than any other groups are different from each other. And I think it's because they were so isolated for a long time. Like, China was like doing its own thing, and they were like technologically way advanced over Europe and everything for a long, long, long time. And so they were kind of just chilling doing their own thing because like Europe didn't really have much they wanted. The Europeans would try to go there to get silk and spices and all the cool shit they had. chopsticks. I don't know how they didn't invent forks, but they're so smart, but they can't figure out it's easier to jab something with 4 prongs than to pick it up with 2.
Yeah.
But
look, you can get 3 grains of rice every time.
The fact that
they grab big amounts.
The fact that their main thing to eat is noodles and rice, and they don't have forks or spoons.
We squeeze the life out of everything that we pick up. They like grab it to where like all. Well, that
I think
rice
they have very sticky rice. That's why it's easy.
Yeah.
If they were eating the rice the way I make it, they would starve to death.
Very starchy.
Yeah, they would starve to death eating rice I make.
And they wouldn't have chipped teeth. They're like, did you cook it?
I fuck up rice every
Has
other
this rice
time.
seen water since it was picked? Right?
Every other time I make rice, I fuck it up. I made chicken and rice like a while back.
How's rice so dry, but yet it's made in like water fields?
I mean, they dry it out after they pick it, I guess. I don't know.
But then...
Dude, we have a lot of rice farming around here, and I don't get what rice is, even though it's right around us.
Yeah.
Like, when I see a field, it looks like grass in it.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow that's rice. I don't get what happens. I don't get how I get what's in a bag that I get at the store out of that field.
Like, how does it grow out of it?
I guess it's like little seeds on the end of, like, the grassy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But how do they get it? It's not guys with triangle hats out there picking it here. It's a tractor that does it somehow.
Yeah.
I don't get how they do it.
It does it, and then it, like, feeds it like it...
I don't know, dude. I don't understand how rice... I get how corn works. I see the corn thing sticking off the plant, and it comes off and you eat it. Rice, I don't get. But in China, I mean, dude.
And the cotton thing.
Cotton, I get how they pick cotton because I've seen it up close. They get these people from another country to come over and work for it. No.
Boats.
Yeah. No, the way they pick cotton, the way those cotton pickers work is pretty cool and interesting. But rice, I don't get. And also, the fact that... Have you ever ate at like a... you know those places where you sit by the grill and he throws a shrimp to you?
I've never eaten there.
Oh, well I ate there one time for a birthday party. It's very expensive.
Like hibachi or something like that? Right?
Yeah. I feel like that's right.
Right?
But
or is that a sauce?
Yeah,
right?
I feel like that's right.
Wasabi, you idiot.
But I wouldn't say it confidently.
Wasabi? There's a guy throwing wasabi at you.
Wasabi is a drink, right?
The hot stuff.
Is it a drink? What's the drink?
No, well, wasabi is like their hot sauce.
What's the drink that dude we used to work with always talked about? That the Japanese people drink.
Green tea?
No, it's a liquor. Sakura or something.
Oh, yeah.
Sushi? No, that's...
No, sushi?
I know.
Like rice and like fish or something?
It's fish. Right? It's raw fish.
Yeah, but what's the rice then?
Oh, they put it on like a little bed of rice as a filler. Turns out raw fish isn't very filling or appetizing in any way. There's always flies buzzing around it. It's like, we need sticky rice.
Yeah.
But, anyway, whatever that...
It just picks up the flavor of that raw fish.
I've ate sushi before from H-E-B, the local grocery store, which I know that's not everybody's like, you should try sushi. I'm like, I got some from H-E-B. I didn't like it. They're like, of course you didn't. Yeah. But I didn't
Not their specialty.
Actually, I did not like it. It was fine. It just wasn't something like... I've ate cooked fish that I liked a lot more before. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm sure it's fine, but... Like, I don't mind a salami sandwich. I just prefer turkey, so I don't get salami. You know what I mean? Like,
I get it.
I don't buy groceries just because I don't mind them. But,
wow.
But anyway, the facial recognition there apparently has issues. I think it might have been like a joke making fun of them website, but I think it was legitimate that it has issues because a lot of people there tend to look.
You heard it here first, folks.
I've said it before. If you come here to get your news, may God have mercy on your soul.
And whoever you're telling.
It ain't fact checked.
Do you hear what some people do with pinatas? Anyways.
That is hilarious.
So...
Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
Nasty. Facial recognition. That's crazy.
What
do you think is going to be next?
I don't know what can be.
You know what I mean?
I mean...
That is the last thing, is the computer just looking at you.
No, the next thing is computer, like, knows shit
in
about
there?
you. Computer's like, in 3rd grade, you bullied that girl. You're like, shut up!
You're
close
like,
it.
Put the computer in yesterday.
You close your laptop, and then it opens. It's like your laptop's like talking.
It's talking to you like...
It's going up and
like
down like it's a mouth. It's like, hey, Jeremy, did your wife know you ate that Twinkie while she was...
They're talking about putting the, like, what's it called? Like, you wear those glasses to where you can see the stuff, but it's like...
They had that several years ago, and it wasn't a hit, and I guess they hadn't perfected it yet. Google Glass.
Yeah.
Where you're wearing glasses, and you can see, like, you're, like, Googling porn.
I feel like it's, like, you got a computer. Like, even laptops, they got a little fan in them to, like, cool off.
I always feel so primitive when the fan kicks on.
Think it's gonna have, like, a fan on your glasses? It's gonna cool off, you know? There's a little disc you pop in there.
Floppy disk. They haven't really caught up the technology yet.
They're like, why don't we just at least make a wire that runs down their back, and that's what the machine is, right?
I used to have something real similar to that when I was a kid. I had these glasses where you could see behind you. Mm-hmm. They were glasses, and they were a little wider than they should be.
Yeah, they have a little, like...
And they had little mirrors on each side. Dude, I thought that was...
You probably imagine, like, a mirror, like, off a car. hanging off the side. I remember ones that were square, and they had a little bent part. And those you can see.
Well, these were regular sunglasses, except that where they would come to the edge of your face and then go back behind your ears, that was a little wider. And it
looked ridiculous.
It probably did, but I would wear them. I got them out of a cereal box or something. Yeah. I thought they were cool, so I had Lucky Charm dust on them.
Yeah.
But I would wear them, and I would just be like, I don't know, I thought I could, like, look at a girl's ass or something. But then it's like, if it's her ass, why not just turn around and look at it? Yeah. But I thought they were so cool. I used to wear them. I bet I got it.
You're like, I can look at the girl in front of me and the one behind me.
No more choices.
Yeah.
But
That's how people go cross-eyed.
They might be good for... They might have been good for cheating in school because you can, like, either can't wear them in class.
No sunglasses, Jeremy.
No. Dude, that's perfect. They say no sunglasses. So you sit them on your desk and you angle them just right where your friends' answers are reflected.
Yeah. Or you can just roll up and put on your pen.
Yeah. Did you ever have any, like, ingenious ways of cheating?
Yes.
So let's talk about that.
Okay. So, you know those gel pens?
Oh, God. Right? Yeah, I know where you're going with this.
What? Put it in there?
Yeah, you rolled it up.
Rolled it up and put it in there?
Yeah.
Where all you do is just turn it? Yeah.
Your teacher's like, Dwight, do you have a joint in class? You're like, no, I'm just cheating on this test.
And then she's like, oh, you're going to fail. I'm like, it's a joint.
You smoke it.
It's like a Bunsen burner. I'm only lighting it. Right?
But you rolled it up in there and then you unrolled it.
I start a fire in class. Yeah. Burn down the building. Right? But was it a joint? Were you cheating? Arson? Right? I'm like, which one's worse?
Premeditated murder. They're like, you're like, I didn't mean to do it. They're like, you locked the teacher in the classroom.
Oh, wow.
But so that worked? Like, you never got caught? You always make good grades?
Yeah, I never did. I think I was probably more scared to do it than, you know.
Were you young?
High school.
Oh, in high school, I had no fear of getting caught. I mean, I didn't want to get caught. I purposely didn't get caught. But it was never like, oh no, what if they catch me? But dude, my thing was...
I mean, if I started all of a sudden cheating like that and they were like, what happened? You just like flipped a switch and passing everything now, you know?
Flipped a switch on a Bunsen burner.
I mean, like, also it's like where I went to school, it was pretty easy though.
Well, I had that too. Yeah. But my thing was, one of my things was I would wear workout type shorts to school a lot, you know? And I would just pull it up and write answers on the top of my thigh. I would write, like, you know, definitions or something I didn't need. And I would just sit in class, and I would just casually, barely lift it up a little and read the answers. I did that so many times. I'm surprised it's not, like, indented in there, you know? It's like isotopes are.
That's the thing is, like, you can't just put, like, B and, like, C. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you don't know the
No, but
test.
You can put a few little key things that'll help. You know, the things you know you're not going to get right.
Yeah.
Put those, and then, like, you can't do it for math. It's like...
You write down, like, Spanish Inquisition. Yeah. It's like, that's written down your leg, right? You got all these notes, and you don't even fucking need them.
I'm like, in 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean. Pull my shorts up a little more. Yeah. Blue.
Yeah. Some girls gagging.
I used to tell girls...
And then they were like, are you cheating? Right? And you're like, no, I'll show her my dick.
I had told a couple of girls.
Like, but why did you burn the place down?
It just always leads to that. It's the logical conclusion. But I used to tell, I told a couple of girls in school, I said, you should wear a skirt. And that was it. I'm like, you should wear a skirt. I got my glasses.
Like, write the answers on your panties.
Let me smell them.
I'm always looking at them anyways.
Dude, there was nothing better in school than occasionally getting a crotch shot.
Yeah.
But no, I would tell these girls, wear a skirt and write it on your leg.
When you think about it now, it was kids. A kid girl that just doesn't know how to sit. And you're like, hell yeah. You know, if you think about it.
I really was thinking of adults. I was like, dude, I used to love cross shots. And in my mind, I'm seeing like a 27-year-old doing it. It wasn't.
Now,
It was
like 12, 14 or something, you know?
Dude, I caught a dude one time. This kid that I went to school with. You know who he is.
Oh, shit.
He went on to be a baseball player later in life.
Okay.
Anyway, when we were in like 8th grade or so, 7th or 8th grade, there was this girl. She was like the prettiest girl in school. Like to this day, like you look back at her, of course she looks like a kid, but to this day, like if you go by age time, when I was 14 and she was 14, the hottest girl. Now I'm 37. There's no 37-year-old that's that level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, we were sitting at the table. It was like the long table, so it has like 6 or 8 chairs at it, and she was across from me and him, right? And he kept dropping his pencil, and I didn't think nothing of it. I was just like
clumsy.
And then after a few times, I like kind of looked, and he was like, I guess she was sitting with her fucking legs open or something. I didn't look. Not because I'm a good guy, just because it'd be too obvious.
You're like, and the angle wasn't right.
She's like, everybody on that side of the desk keeps dropping their pencils. I got my pencil glued to the floor. I'm like, I can't get it. But no. But anyway, looking at children's crotch shots or whatever.
I don't know what that is. Yeah.
If you were,
you were then though, so it's it's not you're the teacher doing it.
So
he is.
Yeah.
That's why there's not all the guy teachers, because they're just like, I'm gonna get in trouble.
Well, the thing is, like in high school,
I thought about being a math teacher.
Fuck that.
Remember?
Yeah.
That's like what I knew I was gonna.
A squared plus B squared equals C in panties. Right? Yeah. It was terrible, but it's what you'd be doing. Well, if you're a high school teacher and there's a 16, 17, 18-year-old girl, you can't like check her out. You can't do that. That's very off limits. But there's a girl that's dressed like had a low-cut shirt or something. Your natural instinct is to look, and why get in that situation? Just don't be a teacher.
Yeah.
Or teach like 8-year-olds, you know what I mean?
That's why a lot of times they're gay dudes.
There are quite a few gay teachers. Yeah. Either gay or just like weirdo, like maybe they're not gay, but they're like way into like Dungeons and Dragons, that type of dude.
Yeah, the ones that were like picked on during high school, they're like, so now I'm gonna go rule the place. I want to be a teacher.
They're not going there to,
they're picked on.
They're not going there to fuck girls at all. They're just going there to like be in charge of bullies.
Yeah.
Like I've probably told her. I
go
know
out in the hall. He's like, oh, I wanted to say that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's his first day. It's his first day. He's already sending someone to the hall, right?
The guy didn't do shit. He's just like had a Letterman jacket on.
Yeah.
Well, I know we say this all the time, but I've probably said it here before that when I was in school, a teacher got locked in the closet by the students. And there was a bunch of those type of incidents. And that teacher that happened to, he was
probably still in the closet.
Yeah, you know the teacher I'm talking about. He always wore the newsy hat. He was a cool guy and everything, but he was that guy. He for sure got picked on in school.
He was shorter than an Asian.
Yeah, he was very short.
Shorter than the average Asian.
He was kind of like hippie-ish. He used to play hacky sack. Yeah.
Button-up shirt, tucked in, suspenders or something, right?
Yeah, you know the exact guy I'm talking about. Yeah. But yeah, he got locked in a closet. So he probably wanted to be a teacher. He's like, I'll show those guys. And then a bunch of football players shoved him in a closet.
He's like, not again.
Yeah. He's familiar.
Yeah.
It's like real familiar to him. But anyway, what I was saying about cheating is I told a couple of girls, I said, y'all should do this with a skirt on, because even if you get caught, what's the teacher going to say? Raise your skirt up and let me see? Yeah. They can't.
Yeah.
The teacher can't. You ride it high enough up on your leg, the teacher cannot ask you to see it.
Yeah.
And I was like, absolutely. He can see you doing it and can't prove you did it.
What if, like, who was the president of the United States in, like, 89? Right? Because he's like, I want to see it. I want to see Bush. And the principal walks in.
He's pulling at her skirt. I want to see Bush.
Right? It was.
Yeah, right? He got elected in 88, I think. Yeah.
Anyways, so he's like, who's the president, whatever. And then the principal walks in.
Let me see Bush. He's just like, he's dying on that hill.
Yeah.
He's like, no, she cheated.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're going to see Bush checking high school girls nowadays. I don't know, maybe. I think Bushes might be coming back. I hope. Yeah. I like when old stuff comes back sometimes.
It won't change anything for you.
I know it won't. I just want to live in a world where high school girls don't care so much that they trim their bush.
Yeah, I don't know.
Give me that. Give me that world. That's what I want. But anyway, that's what was the cheating thing. I had a bunch. I remember one time I was in school and I was in this science class, and
that would be hard to, because the more complex, of course, like math, you can have like numbers.
It's real easy to write on your thigh,
right? But I mean, like words. Like a lot of words.
What you would do
you don't know
is
exactly the wording that the question's going to be in.
No.
So that's why a lot of times I didn't cheat. Is because I didn't know the correct way.
No,
you put like keywords.
it's easy to.
You know what I mean? Like a date and like Spanish, and you're like, oh, that's Spanish English. You know, right?
It's easy if you're good at taking tests.
15. Remember?
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
It's that was a Spanish Armada, I think. But anyway, that's not important. What you do if you are a good test taker and a person who I was a guy who probably could have made great grades if I wanted to, but I didn't. But so when you're looking at something that the test is going to be on, you know what's coming out of that to be on the test. It's easy. And then you just write keywords maybe, or reminders, or maybe a definition or something here and there.
Little picture of a vagina. Right? And they're like, why did you waste spot for that? Right? Now you're going to get in trouble and be a creep.
Yeah, I just doodled swastikas.
That's why you burned the place down, throw the pin in it, right?
I just doodled swastikas on my thigh. But it's easy. You put a few things in there. Because what you're doing is, if you're the guy that's resorting to cheating every time you take a test, you probably don't care if you get an A+ on the test. You're cheating to get a C, because you're like, okay, I'm going to put in as little effort as possible and get by.
Well, you have to, like, when I would cheat, I had, like, you have all the answers, right? Let's say you had all the answers.
Yeah, because sometimes that would happen.
Sometimes, like, we had a coach my freshman year that, I mean, it was his last year. In the middle of it, like, he was asked to leave. Yeah. Coach Ramsey. And, anyways, he would, like, have the questions on the answers or whatever on his desk. And be like, all right, when you are finished, grade your own papers. And we're like, okay, he's like, papers on there, right? And he's like, I'm going to go, the office or whatever, you know? So it's like, we're like, as soon as the door closes, we all go over there and do it.
He knew you were doing it,
he's
right?
like, when y'all are done, he's like, start the movie back on, or there's always a TV right next to his desk where you just like push the tape in.
Coach teachers were the best. Yeah, they didn't give a fuck what you did.
I would be like, hey, I'm gonna miss these two, you missed that one. You know what I mean? So we all like make like a 90 something.
Y'all were like real coordinated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a few of those situations where you would find like an answer sheet. And yeah, sometimes I would get like a 98 or something. My favorite though, this wasn't exactly cheating, but it was we were having it was like finals, so you had to come in and you had to.
You like broke into a place, stole all the stuff for the SAT. Yeah. Hold on, yeah, that's a movie.
No, so
Captain America was in it.
Was he?
Yeah.
Anyway, so it was like finals. So what you do is you come to school just like you didn't have regular classes, so you go to a class and it was like a 2-hour period to do your final test, and so you're supposed to stay the whole period.
Perfect score.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the movie. So you...
Two Avengers were in it.
Really?
Yeah,
Thor?
Black Widow.
Oh, that's not an Avenger.
It's a girl?
That's a girl.
And him, they were both... anyways, all right.
Anyway, so you have to go to the class. All you have to do in that class is take the final exam, but you got to be in the class for like 2 hours or whatever. Because they didn't just want you roaming the school, so a class period had to be longer to account for the test. So... we would get down with our test real quick. I had this English teacher who was like Scottish or something. I remember him as being, when I think of him, what I see in my head is Fat Bastard from Austin Powers.
He had a kilt?
Yeah,
y'all looking at
I remember him.
Y'all looking at his panties?
Yeah. We had to raise his skirt up to find the answers.
Wow.
Yeah, the answers
I want to see Bush.
Yeah, the answers where it smells like spam under there. But I remember him being like Scottish, but I'm sure he was just an American dude. But I remember him being like, "You gotta make 100 on the test," something like that.
Damn.
But so anyway,
in Southeast Texas,
yeah, exactly.
Those guys don't come here.
He was real fat though, and I remember we read *Midsummer Night's Dream*. Anyway, it's not important. So we take the test. Test real easy, or I cheated. I don't know which. Yeah. I probably cheated.
So it was easy.
Either way, it was easy. Actually, one of the people who often listens to our podcast was in this class and did what I'm about to tell you. I just remember that fact.
That's the Google listener?
Yeah. So we're sitting in class, and it's like we have like an hour left until we can get out of there. So we're just sitting there like fucking like idiots. So somebody like gets the fat dude's attention somehow, and he's like, "What do you got there, mate?" or whatever, however they talk. And he's talking to a student.
What that was.
And this dude, Matt, and then Matt, this guy in the class, he goes up and he goes to the clock. They don't have faces on the clock. And he gets his finger and he just turns it to like 2 minutes before we get out. And it's so simple, it's beautiful. Like, the simplicity of it is beautiful. Bell schedules are all fucked up that time of year because classes are different lengths. So we're sitting in class
That
for like...
fucked that dude up all day.
Probably to
He
this
left
day.
before his last class. He probably got fired.
Probably
right?
to this day, he's like, goes to a therapist. He's like, I'm missing an hour of my life. He's like, I don't know. He's like, it was 2:15, and then it was 3:45 or whatever.
He's like, that was the last straw. I said I was giving it all I got, Captain. He's laying on the couch, right?
His test is multiple choice. The answer's always D. I'm giving it all I got, Captain.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. We get mulligans. So Matt goes up there and he turns the clock to like an hour ahead, and we're sitting in class, and the big fat Scotsman's over there like drinking some scotch. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what Scottish people do. And somebody was like, "Oh, Mr. Whatever, Hooligan or whatever his name was," and it's like,
Hooligan?
I don't know what's a Scottish name.
Hooligan. No wonder he was fired.
You got Mr. Hooligan teaching English 3. Oh, yeah, remember last week, last episode, I said that I took retard English. This was the year before that. This was real English.
Oh.
I had to cheat. I didn't have to, cheat to see how to spell.
I think Scottish speak retard English.
He should have been.
Any other country that isn't United States, right?
Yeah, in
Speaks
England.
retard English.
In England, where it's they're named after the language, they're barely understandable.
It was theirs, and we just perfected it.
We did it better.
Right.
I mean, some of us did it better. Go to Louisiana and tell me they.
Right,
Yes. But so somebody was like, Mr. Whatever. They're like, it's. Can we go? It's time now. And he looked at the clock. I specifically remember him looking confused at the clock.
Yeah.
Because he's like, it's been 2 hours. He's like, it seems like 30 minutes. And he looked at the clock. He's like, I guess so. And we just left. But it was so simple. It was brilliant. Yeah. Matt just reached up there and just turned the clock. Yeah. And he was a good student, that guy. The guy that did that. He was a guy, he went off to college and has a good job. Uh-huh. So it's
now he's at work. Right?
He's always doing it.
He's changing it.
He's addicted to it.
Yeah.
He's just every day at work, he works less. He's working 10 seconds a day now.
His bosses are like, damn, I didn't know it was 4 already. I guess everybody go home, right?
His boss walks in with his coffee and his breakfast taco, and he's like, is it really time to go already? Everybody, his wife, everybody in his life has lost their grip on reality because he's the time master. You know how some people always have, when you have a kid, you're like, I wish they'd stay this age forever. His does. He controls time. He's drunk with power. He's had a 5-year-old kid for 12 years.
He just snaps his finger and the clock changes. Right?
He's time is his domain. Yeah, A Wrinkle in Time is a biography for him.
That's ridiculous.
His wife is always 19-ish, he's turning back time. Every time you look at his wife, you see crow's feet disappearing. He's making her a little younger.
He goes back and steals from Dollar General Legos. That's from our last episode.
I do like the idea of that.
I'm bringing up the past about going to the past.
Yeah, I do like the idea of Matt being just the master of time because he figured out a pretty obvious thing to do, but it was just brilliant because he did it. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that I still keep because I'm thinking of that time, and I still keep seeing that dude being not
your hero.
No, not that dude, the teacher.
Oh, Hooligan.
I think of the teacher just being disgustingly Scottish. Mm-hmm. And he may not have even been Scottish. I just
always thought this.
In my head, when I think of him, I think of just a big fat guy in a kilt. And eating a turkey leg and grease down the front of his shirt. I swear to God. I want to talk to somebody else who was in that class. I was going to say look him up on Facebook. That guy's dead.
Hooligan?
I'm telling a 20-year-old story of a fat guy that ate turkey legs every day. You know what I mean? But, anyway.
People are he had the strangest teachers. Right?
Somebody, the dude Matt's going to call me
a boy child or a man child or whatever, right? They used to throw in the locker.
They played hacky sack. I'll tell you, I'm not making this up. But the Scottish guy, somebody from my school is going to meet up with me one day and be like, Mr. Johnson was black. I'm like, I could have swore it was a fat Scottishman.
School stuff. I mean, everybody's got their teachers and stuff. With mine, with the fallen showing her beef.
Oh, the beef.
To all of us I think that was 7th grade.
Do you think she thinks back of that? She's like, oh, I can't think of that as hot. They were just kids.
Yeah.
Because she was an adult then.
But I think we've said it before that she does that every year.
Well,
right?
you said it just...
Right? What if she does that every year?
Yeah, I was saying...
She has like the slide down perfect now.
Just to catch the listeners up, you had a teacher who fell with a skirt on and fell like spread eagle showing her puss to the class.
Yeah.
And we called her the Beeve. But yeah, what if that's just her thing? You know how on Dangerous Minds, Michelle Pfeiffer comes in with the leather jacket and acts up? That's her like thing.
Yeah.
To get the attention of the class.
She does the Sharon Stone thing every year.
Somebody told her, they're like, you know that hot chick from the 90s movie? Do that to your class.
She's like, every year, 100th day. Right? You know what I mean? There's a big celebration for 100th day at school, right? And that's what she does.
Somebody told her what to do on the first day to get the students' attention, and she mixed up 90s movies. And she just flashed them instead of fucking acting tough with a leather jacket. That teacher, though, we talked about it just the other day. That teacher that flashed you 20-something years ago is still pretty hot.
Yeah.
If she flashed now, I'd look. I mean,
what's crazy is, though, when she was my teacher back then, that was her first year here.
So she was just getting the hang of showing her pussy.
Yeah, that was like, I could have seen it, well, I mean, the first person to see it, right?
You were the first person to see her pussy?
I know, like, me and my friend Drake, we both did.
Y'all got like a good look, right?
We both sat like next to each other, you know, and like we were both like, it was our aisle, you know, because like it's like
she wanted you to see it.
It's like
she let me give these dorks a little fucking surprise.
Like, every once in a while I walk by her, I like look and I'm like wink, right? And she does too. It's like a nod, right?
Your friends come and smell your eyes.
I'm like, floor looks a little slippery here. Right? No, she did like slide though, and then like fell like on her ass, and her legs like went different ways. I could still picture it.
It's weird to fall.
It's crazy because I can still fucking picture it.
She felt like a gymnast, you know, like she was doing some kind of routine.
Just like there was this one girl, this black chick or whatever, when I was in 5th grade.
I know her too.
A few years before this, where it was actually the first live action like boobs that I had seen.
The first in-person tits you've ever seen.
Huge.
Yeah, she still has huge. Well,
huge.
obviously.
This was in 5th grade.
I was like, she still does. She wouldn't have big tits in 5th grade and be an adult and have little ones.
Yeah, they don't like suck back in, right? Unless she like got them like chopped
off. Unless the master of time got a hold of her. Matt's over there with his fucking wizardry.
He goes in and like squeezes one left, one right, and then like punches a nipple on his shrink.
He's using his power for evil, so he's gonna lose it.
Anyways, this might have been around the same time, right?
What grade were you in?
It was in 5th grade.
My thing happened when you were in 8th grade or 7th grade.
All right, so anyways,
hold on. So that was the first.
It might have both happened the same time because he's in control.
Yeah,
right?
Everything is happening.
So, anyways, we're sitting there in the Hitler teacher's class. And we're sitting there, I'm like, with scissors, and our table's doing this, their table's
cutting
doing
out swastikas for Christmas.
She's standing up, and like she does something, and like her fucking shirt falls down.
Nice.
Like everything falls down.
Was your class just rigged up to show female whatever body parts?
Yes.
Your whole classroom was booby trapped, literally?
I remember the next year in 6th grade, Miss Bradley, I'll say names, fuck them.
Fuck
right? Miss Bradley, everyone said that she doesn't wear panties.
Yeah.
Everyone said it. Of course, that's one of those junior high things. They're like, and she was the hot one.
They're like, Miss Bradley just walks around class with a dildo stuffed up her ass.
Now she, like, if she's listening to this, right, she's all like, at first she's like, oh my gosh, people are gonna, and then she's like, oh, he just said I was the hot one.
Oh yeah, she likes that. Now she knows that one nerdy kid thought she was hot 20 years ago. I'm sure that made her day better.
6th grade, that's the one that she was the hot one. That's also the same grade as that one kid throwing the desk at the other teacher.
Yeah,
Miss Espinosa. But anyways, so yeah, I've had my fair share of.
I need to get back to. So when you were in 5th grade, you saw your first live in-person tits. Mm-hmm. And they were like big tits, which is
black ones.
Yeah, a black chick's tits.
Yeah.
Which, dude, you talk about like hitting the lotto. Mm-hmm. You could have seen just run-of-the-mill white,
little
pale. Yeah. You can see the veins coming.
5th grade.
You can see the veins coming from the nipple. Oh, in 5th grade, almost no girls have tits in 5th grade. So you really hit the jackpot on that. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because I do. The girl whose tits you saw, I saw yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see her tits though.
Yeah.
But so anyway,
I go to the grocery store at a local town here.
Yeah, exactly. So the first, I don't even know what's the first live tits I saw. It's like yesterday.
Those were definitely it.
I want to say like, I know the first time that I like did anything like intimate with a chick, mm-hmm. and thinking like, I don't think I'm cut out for this. Like, this is too much. It was like an overload in my senses. Like, this girl let me touch her tit or something. And I was like, I don't think I can take this. It's too much for me going on. But I don't actually have a memory of the first time I saw a girl's tit.
You're like, why is it smaller than mine?
But I really don't. I don't have that memory of the first time I saw a girl's tits. I remember sometimes being in junior high and a girl would like bend down and you could like see through the sleeve of her shirt and I would just be staring. Dude, I would spot that from a mile. I was like an eagle. If a girl bent a certain way,
that noise, that eagle noise happens when you spot something.
I'd be in junior high and a girl would just bend down and get something a certain way, and you could just, there was a moment.
Like at school?
In time, yeah, where you could see just straight through her
Your grades
sleeve.
are also doing that eagle fucking dive, right? Where they hit the ground and die. That's your grades. Right?
Yeah. I was just looking at like, whatever. But as far as like seeing like a full set of tits out, well, there is another thing though, and this kind of ties into your thing, because it was also a black chick. And it was when I first got into girls with like big asses, it was this black chick that had a real nice ass that I went to school with.
They might have been related.
And they probably are. And she would always wear these super tight pants. And like not like jeans, but like some kind of like whatever pants, like khaki looking material. And one time the back of her pants split. And I was looking like her ass, because you know how like not just but like black people have better asses than us. Like their asses like sit up, they're not saggy. And I remember just seeing her big ass right in front of me. Yeah, her big nice ass right in front of me in class, and I was just like, well, I like asses now. Like, she turned me. That wasn't the first time I'd seen an ass. I was in high school and stuff, but it made me think, because I was a white dude. We like skinny girls, I guess.
I think I've said this one before. Maybe not on here though. We've talked about it, but in 8th grade.
Nice.
We had it was another like the hot teacher. It was the reading teacher, and English reading, whatever. You're
teaching reading to 8th graders.
Reading and English.
Ringlish.
Right? No. I mean,
China's like.
We had a reading class and an English class. She was a reading teacher. Anyways, so she had one of those like director chairs. Like a wooden, but
they're made for showing beef.
But it sits up high.
Yeah,
that's the thing. So when we would do like our reading, like where like like all right, like Dwight, you're
like
they're like Dwight, you're next, or whatever, and you read like the next paragraph and down. Anyways, we would do that, and she would always wear skirts or dresses, right?
Nice.
And where her chair was set was right across from me and my friend Kevin. Right, which we would, and that girl that you and him were both obsessed with. Yeah, Mexican chick.
Yeah.
But anyways, so yeah, she sat like right across from us, and it's like you could definitely, I saw her somewhere recently, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's old.
Is she not hot at all anymore?
No, like gray hair.
Is she still showing the old beef though?
Yeah.
She's walking around with her legs spread somehow, like a cowboy walks.
There's like gray hairs coming out of her panties. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The history teacher's like, let me see Bush.
She's got like 4 vaginas because it's all the wrinkles. Right? Like you don't know what's what.
It doesn't matter. They're all the same.
But anyways.
How many? So you've seen a lot of teacher puss. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. I've never seen a single teacher's pussy in my life. I mean, like, one of my teachers. I've seen porns where they're acting like teachers.
A lot of the other, like, this is like the hot ones, I guess, so you're like looking for it, I guess. But
yeah, you're like, I happen to see it. You're just staring at her crotch the whole time, the whole year.
She's like up here. You know what I mean? Right? Anyways,
you got binoculars.
God, that is crazy. We did have a lot of like fat and ugly old teachers too, though.
Most teachers aren't.
So like, I mean, if I was looking, I might have seen theirs too. You know what I mean?
They were probably just sitting there holding it open with 4 fingers.
Yeah, like on purpose.
And you're just like,
they're just like talking, right? Everybody, look up at here, the board. Everyone just,
on the board, it's like, look at my pussy with an arrow, and nobody noticed. But yeah, most teachers, like in all my years of school, I had like only a few even like somewhat attractive teachers. Mm-hmm. I remember when I was in like pretty young, like 5th or 6th grade, we had this one. She was like teachers, like when they just got out of college and they're like helping a teacher to learn. Mm-hmm. And I remember thinking she was like pretty, and then I see pictures of her now and I realize even back then she probably wasn't. Yeah. I just didn't know any better because all my other teachers were fucking trolls.
And she was young.
Yeah, she was like 22.
Yeah.
Which was still an adult to me because I was like 11. But she was like, clearly there was something about her that was more attractive than the other ones. And now that I look back on it, it's just that she was 22. I don't think she was like hot or anything like that.
No.
I never really had hot teachers.
Yeah. You didn't see her vagina.
I've never seen a teacher's pussy ever. Like I've never saw, and the teacher's shirt never busted open. Like I don't know where you
were a teacher.
Where did you go to school?
I was a student.
I know, but where'd you go to school? Porky's or something? Everything that happened. I
was a student. A 10-year-old, right? That was a 10-year-old's boobs that I saw.
There's no way she was 10.
Yeah.
That's
fifth grade.
Ridiculous.
In 5th grade, 10 or 11, right? I mean, you're 10, I think.
Yeah, she's not like dumb. So she wasn't like 16 11, in 5th grade.
Well, we were 11 in 6th grade, though, I think.
But it is like the shirt came open because shirts for kids that age aren't made to hold big tits.
No, that's not.
It's like
it just meant to like button. You know what I mean?
Like I'm giving it all I can, Captain.
That's ridiculous.
But yeah, there's no like I don't have any of those stories. You know, I saw that one chick's ass busted out of her pants because she was wearing super tight pants, like super tight low cut pants was like a thing then, and that isn't anymore. You don't ever see girls wearing super tight pants, really.
Also, you don't see the like low jeans.
That's not going on anymore.
Where a girl like like reaches up on the counter to get her drink, and like her panties are sticking out.
Exactly, or like
back then. So then they like bend over, and you see like all of it.
Yeah.
Like you see like bottom of butt cheek because they're bending over.
You can tell.
You know what I mean?
You can tell she has polyps in her colon when she bends over.
She looks like a black thug. Her pants are sticking out so far, right?
Well, it used to be, like you said, the low cut, tighter jeans. And you remember, like, if you ever were like with not even with, but saw like a skinny chick, their hip bones would push their jeans out, and you could see down their pants, right?
Yeah.
So that's not a thing anymore. And I think the reason the style became higher waisted jeans is because there's just more like chunky chicks.
Yeah, now it's like popular
to be fat.
So girls like, I can just eat whatever I want and I'll look good.
And it works too, because that is like those chicks that are like kind of like, they call it thick now. We had an whole episode about it one time. But like when they're a little chunky,
chubby or thick,
it is not. Yeah, it is like those girls are hot. Yeah. But we were talking the other day. I was like, so when we were kids, that same girl, would she have just starve herself and get skinny, or would she be kind of chunky but pretty?
I'm not into that as much as I was.
I know, but whether or not you're into it, a lot of girls who are like the pretty girls,
Now I have a wife that is just skinny.
I know. I really
eats and won't gain weight.
She doesn't eat much though.
Yeah.
If she went bite for bite with me, she'd gain weight.
Oh yeah.
She's like, "How many pizzas do we have to eat today?" I'm like, 2. Why?
3 or 4 meats. Right?
But
4 pieces of cheese on one burger.
I'm like, on one of the patties on this burger.
You're like, that's half of it.
Yeah. But I'm like, well, breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
Chili on your burger?
That is good. That is really good.
All right, anyways. I'm hungry.
I am too. What are we at?
Okay. So anyways, facial recognition. So I'm thinking like at schools and stuff, right?
Wait, how do we get
I'm talking about like pussy recognition, right? So no, all right. At these schools now, especially the one in our like local like town or whatever, they're like on lockdown, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that stuff's going to be coming to schools and stuff?
Yeah,
so they know,
it will
like,
eventually for sure.
Kids coming in, they know who's been in there and who hasn't.
Like you have a student ID, it can be like all that.
Fucking Tom Cruise movie,
Minority Report.
Yeah.
The
Where
teachers in there moving
everywhere he's at, there's like these little spiders that come in and look at you in your bathtub.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't come to that, because I don't like.
And there's an eyeball in that movie too, though.
I don't like where that leads. I don't like where a lot of technology leads. Look, the Unabomber shouldn't have blown up all those people, but he had a lot of good ideas. Technology, he was like anti-technology. He said like making the world bad. That's why he was blowing up the people he was. But I don't like where it leads, because
he's like, the phone's talking to me. The phone's talking to me. Right?
Yeah, but
you're like, no, it's your mother. Right? And he's just like,
he didn't get phone. He didn't get phone.
He's like, how does it sound like my mom?
It sounds a lot like her. It's weird.
Yesterday, knew my name.
Yesterday, it sounded like a guy named Jeff Jones.
How did it know it was my birthday?
Right? Yeah, but I don't like where it leads because I want schools to be safe because my kid goes to one, right? But at what expense? Like, I don't want facial recognition because I know where that goes. It's like then eventually it's almost like thought crimes it's like, you know, I don't like where any of that shit leads. But it is going there, dude. I remember being a kid, and so we were talking about like computer stuff. Like computers were.
You're like, oh, you just remember being a kid?
I'm like, I remember being a kid. So next week we'll be back. No.
You remember being a kid?
You're jealous because you have no memories of childhood except for black tits.
No, I don't.
But
I remember that very vividly. That and teacher's puss.
Yeah.
That's it.
You know you can't jerk off thinking about those tits, right?
No.
That's real bad.
It's like I don't have.
It's not like she was 16 and
like
it's not
right
that
now
weird.
thinking about it, I remember like the setting.
Do you remember? Did it seem when you saw her tits? Was it hot or just like holy shit tits? You know what I mean?
I was kind of like.
She is pretty. The girl is pretty.
I was just.
But was she at 5 or what? Well, not 5. What'd you say? Like 10 or 11? No.
She was in 5th grade.
Yeah, that's where I got the 5 from.
Yeah.
If a 5-year-old had big enough tits, it's like something's wrong there.
Yeah, but no, it wasn't like I was like, you know, like. Did
you just stare like, all right, I want to get a good view? So
I mean, they weren't out like a lot. They like busted out, and then she like, you know, like grabs them and you know.
And
like,
did what though? Her shirt's torn.
Huh?
She had to finish class.
Puts it back together.
Your teacher has a strict rule. You can't leave class
she like
early.
turned around and like buttoned it back up or whatever.
Was she embarrassed or was she like, yeah, I got big tits?
It wasn't like she like put out a window or something because a thing popped. You're thinking like her cousin's ass that you saw, right?
No, I'm thinking like her shirt busts up and then she has 2 like pictures and she dumps them on her tits, you know? She's like really going for it.
It's of Kool-Aid. I have a Go-Gurt and I squeeze the rest of it out. We weren't rich enough for Go-Gurt.
Did it exist back then?
I don't know.
We definitely didn't get it. But anyway, what I was saying, what was I saying?
We like to put yogurt into those little icy sleeves, right?
Mom's like, we can make it at home.
She just pinches it and puts like a little clip on the end.
That's probably, if Mom would have thought of that, we would have that kind of. We got ghetto Go-Gurt. You're going to school just embarrassed. Like, was there a chip clip on your Go-Gurt? Yeah. And why do you have Go-Gurt in an old Walmart bag? Mom just dumped yogurt in the bag. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It sucks being poor when you're a kid, dude.
Yeah.
But
anyways, you can remember being a kid.
I know, I do remember being a kid, but I don't remember what I was gonna say about it. It's not even about tits or anything. We weren't talking about. Oh no. Okay, so I remember when I was a kid in my school, like computers were like kind of new to my school, kind of. Like it was
the black and green screens.
Probably.
I remember in kindergarten or first grade, like having something like that.
I remember them having Mario Teaches Typing on it. You wanna hear something embarrassing?
It seemed like a big machine because I was so little.
It was pretty big though. I mean,
it was like a all-in-one.
Yeah.
Computer, you know. So I'm guessing it was a Mac, right? That's how
I wouldn't even.
I think that's how those were designed.
I'm sure somebody didn't come to my school and be like, "Dude, y'all are getting Dells," you know?
Yeah, they would.
But that commercial wasn't out yet at the time. So anyway, so we're at the. What I was saying was what was embarrassing that I thought about not long ago. Okay, so you know how on the keyboard you have the space bar? I can remember the teacher always being like, no, hit the space bar, hit the space. In my head, I was like, space bar. I was thinking like it meant something to do with space. Because it was like, you know, computers, technology, space.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing how old I was when I realized it was called the space bar because it created a space while typing.
Yeah.
I remember one day I was like, oh, when I was like in my probably 20s, late mid-20s. I just remember, not that I was like 26 and being like, space bar means space. It's just one day it occurred to me and I hadn't thought about it at all for a long time. Yeah. And I was like, oh, space. Like, what a fucking retard. That was an embarrassing thought, but I'm sure I said to some teacher, like, the space bar because computers and technology and stuff. And she was like, I'm just not even going to help this kid because it's a lost cause. But,
yeah, they're like, he's graduating tomorrow anyways. Like, how did you make it here?
They're like, why does he keep pushing space and then looking out the window up in the sky? But I really didn't think that. But anyway, the teacher, we had this class and they were talking about like the future of computer technology type stuff. Mm-hmm. And so she was like, so what are some things you think might? And somebody was like, voice, where you like, whatever. So you could like talk and it, like we have now. speak to text or whatever they call it.
Did he create it?
No, but somebody said that. That was probably already a thing back then in some form. And the teacher's like, all right. And then I remember thinking, like, that's stupid. I probably said it out loud. I was like, that's stupid. I was like, if you're in a classroom like this, it's going to not know which one of us, which is, legitimate thought. But I was like, we're all talking, and it's putting everybody's words in everybody else's
won't
computer.
listen to you, but it'll listen to me. Yeah,
but this is 2020. I'm telling a story from, like, 1991 or something.
Yeah.
I was a little kid.
They're like some kid sitting there, and he's all like, "Yeah, we're gonna have like these pieces of glass in our pocket where
Dude,
he can like type
I would have
on
made
stuff
fun of him
or whatever."
so hard.
Yeah, they're like, "Shut up, Steve."
Yeah, get your turtleneck and get out of here, you faggot.
That's your job. No, anyways, that's crazy. But it is insane how far technology has went.
Yeah, we used to make Oregon Trail where we're like, holy shit.
That's why everyone's like, well, it's going to be next now. And then we just get eased into the next thing. And we don't realize it's the new thing.
There aren't big They don't seem to be a big breakthrough. But have you noticed, though, that the only technological advances you really see a lot of are just in communications? Mm-hmm. It's just phone type shit, like that type of shit. There's no, your vehicle isn't...
It's not getting better gas mileage.
Your vehicle isn't astronomically better than they were when you were a little kid.
No, it doesn't have a space bar that lets me go into space.
Yeah. You know how many times I probably pushed that and got ready to go.
You think your chair's gonna eject?
Yeah. I really didn't put it together that it meant
You push that and a little hood goes over your face as like a gold reflective thing, right?
I push return when I'm ready to go back to school.
Delete because you want to go home.
I push tab because I'm thirsty.
Okay, anyways. Alright, so this has been episode 140. Please like, subscribe, go on our Facebook page and say something or like. I don't know what you do.
Do whatever you want. The fuck do we care?
No, but I would really like it, a personal favor, for you to go into iTunes and rate, review us, leave a comment or something. You can go into your email. Send us an email to thebadvibe@gmail.com, and we can contact you back on there, and we'll send you free shit.
Yeah, we will.
A wristband.
Yeah.
With our name on it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, if you're listening to this, you are the Bad Vibe.